The format of speaking. There are three parts of speaking. Part 1, introduction, which is for 4 to 5 minutes. Part 2 is a cue card, 3 to 4 minutes. Part 3 is discussion, 4 to 5 minutes, and total is 11. There are 4 parameters which are checked in speaking. 1. Fluency and coherence. 2. Lexical resource. 3. Grammatical range and accuracy. And 4th is pronunciation.
Very good afternoon. My name is Dishan and I'm your speaking examiner. Can I know your name, please?
Yes, please, sir. My name is Ritika Singla and you can call me Ritika.
Are you comfortable, Ritika?
Yeah, definitely. I'm comfortable. Thank you so much for asking.
Can we start with the speaking?
Yes, please.
Okay. Ritika, are you working or studying?
I'm working and I'm working with a software organization since last 10 years.
Okay. Tell me something about your job.
Well, my profile is a quality coach and my main work over there is to ensure that we are providing the best candidate experience on each and every transaction.
Okay. And what products do you deal with?
Well, Prometric is dealing with more than 1,000 products, but our main product is ETS, which is TOEFL and GRE.
Ritika, let's move on to talk about sports. Do you like playing sports?
Not really. I'm not a sports person, but yes, I remember when I was in school, at that time, I used to play football.
Okay. How much time did you play football in a day?
These days, I'm not participating in any of the sports activity because of my busy schedule. However, when I was studying, I remember every day I used to spend 1 to 2 hours.
What benefits do you get from playing sports?
Well, I would say there are so many benefits if you are a sports person. The one thing is it works like a stress buster, and the second thing is such kind of sports keep a person healthy and fit.
Do you think playing sport is better or going to the gym is better?
That's completely dependent on the preferences of a person. For some people, gym is the best place to work out. On the other hand, I know there are so many people around me who loves to be who loves to be in a sports team. So completely depends on one's personal choice.
Let's talk about insects now. Do you like watching insects?
No, not at all. Because at the same time, I feel scared and I don't like them.
Why are you afraid of the insects?
Because I have a fear that they can harm me, both physically as well as mentally. That might be the reason.
Are there a lot of insects around the place where you live in?
Yes, and the reason is I live in a society and it's a very old society. It's an apartment kind of thing. And the second reason is because of greenery. We have a very big park, and especially in rainy season, we can expect different kinds of insects.
Which insects are very common in your area?
I would say cockroach is one of the very common, and most of the people, they feel scared for no reasons, I feel.
Let's talk about perfumes now. Do you like wearing a perfume?
Yes, I do. And there are some obvious reasons behind it because everyone wants to smell good. And at the same time, if I'm wearing a very good perfume, then maybe I can attract people towards me.
Where do you buy your perfumes from?
Sometimes online as well, and sometimes offline. That depends what I want to purchase, which brand I want to go with, because it's not necessary that each and every brand is available on online, like Amazon and Myntra. So when this is the situation, I usually prefer to go to the mall and purchase a one.
Do you think wearing perfumes makes people more acceptable in groups?
I don't believe so. For me, I'm a kind of person who will be more attracted towards the clothing style of a person instead of the perfume, on how the person is smelling. And the most important thing is the confidence instead of wearing good perfume.
Let us talk about voice. Has your voice changed a lot since you were born?
I would say definitely, and it's very obvious. Intonation of voice should always be there, and regardless of your age, because when I was a kid, there was some kind of kiddishness in my voice because I was not sounding confident. On the other hand, these days I can say that yes, I am an independent woman, so a certain kind of intonation, at the same time, certain kind of confidence I can sound.
Can you identify a person by his voice?
That depends how close the person is with me. If I talk about my family and my relatives, if my mother is calling up, definitely I can recognize her. But on the other hand, if there's a school friend and who is living far away and who is not in touch with me and he or she will call me after years, maybe it would be slightly difficult for me to identify his voice or her voice.
Okay, Ritika, let's proceed to part 2 of the speaking. I'm going to give you a topic to speak on. If you wish to make some notes, you can. I'm giving you a piece of paper and a pencil so that you can think for a minute. I'll tell you
Sure,
when
sir.
to start. Please don't mind if I interrupt you in between.
Sure, sir.
So this is a topic. Describe a person who expresses his opinions openly. You should say who the person is, how do you know this person, why do you think this person is so open, and explain how do you feel about this person. Your time starts now to think.
Sure.
Please start.
All right. So I know so many people around me who are very opinionative. But today I'm going to talk about that one person I personally know and who always believes in sharing her opinion. The person name is Neha Singla and she's my elder sister. Right now she's a research scientist in Ranbaxy and she's working in Gurgaon. Maybe because of her higher education and the experience which she gained with the time that made her the person like she is these days. So whenever we have a very long discussion on anything at our house, so she is the one who always believes take a stand for the right and share her suggestions. Sometimes I really feel happy about it, but sometimes I do not. And the reason behind it is that because whenever she tries to share her suggestions or opinion, she unintentionally sounds dominating, which I personally do not like that practice. Maybe the other person, they are always ready to take whatever the feedback she's giving or the suggestion she's giving, but not in my case because I'm also like her to some extent because whenever there's a situation, I always believe to share my suggestion as well. And as I have just initiated and in the beginning of my cue card, her experience and the incidents that happen in her life, both in her professional as well as in her personal life, that made her the person with full of opinion and suggestion. But this kind of practice sometimes led her to take a judgment about other people, which is again not a healthy practice in my opinion. But anyhow, I respect her because most of the time, whenever I have taken her suggestion, I always got success. So there was not even a single room of opportunity. So I'm really glad that I have that kind of strong personality in my own family.
Thank you. Do you ever have an argument over difference of opinions?
So many times it does happen, and not only at home, I would say, in fact, at my workplace as well with my own boss. And I remember yesterday itself, I had a long argument with my boss because I was not in agreement with her on some project.
Okay. Let's proceed to part 3 of the speaking. I'm going to ask some discussion questions which are thematically linked to part 2. Who's more expressive according to you, men or women?
I don't think so. It's a gender specific. It completely depends on the personality of one. It can be a man as well, it can be a woman as well. As far as my experience is concerned, the female in my house, they are more expressive in comparison to men. Like my brother, he's a very self-centered person, is a very reservative kind of person.
Okay. Do you think children are more introvert than adults nowadays?
I don't think so. Children are introvert these days, and thankfully, because of social media, because they have a lot of exposure, even in the early age, they know how to take a stand, they know how to express their feelings. And so I don't believe in the fact that they are introverts.
What are the differences between males and females when they express their feelings?
I would say the intonation of voice. When it comes to women, I don't think so. They are calm. And when, on the other hand, when it comes to a man, I believe he's more than calm than a woman. Women are more reactive and I would say impulsive comparatively to men.
Why are some people introverts and others are extroverts?
Well, that's a personality the person is carrying. Like if I talk about myself, I don't think so. I'm an introvert person, but I have seen my brother who is really introvert, completely opposite to me. Like I love, being on social media, but on the other hand, my brother is completely different. So it completely depends on one's own personal choice.
What factors affect the behavior of a person?
Well, people say it's a past experience, but I don't believe in that. Because if I talk about the past experience, then I don't think so. Most of the people these days should be maybe the snobbish, and on the other hand, I would say the rough people, but I don't believe in that. But yes, the people around us that really make us an introvert or an extrovert or expressive kind of people.
Does the behavior remain same throughout life or it keeps changing?
Well, I would say change is always good, sometimes for good as well, and sometimes for bad as well. And if a person is is believing in changing himself or herself with the time, I would say it would be a great idea because we cannot be a stereotype of person for the entire life. Because the person I used to be in the past, I don't think so. I'm the same person because I used to be impulsive, I used to be reactive, but somehow I have developed that kind of a calmness in me, and I'm still trying.
My last question. Do you think that the future generations will be more outgoing and open-minded as compared to today?
Well, I guess we are already there almost. These days, children are very open-minded, and in future, I'm sure it's gonna be more, I would say, successful in terms of outspoken and in terms of like speaking in front of people. So I don't think so that it's going to happen. It's already happened, and again, thankfully, because of social media.
Thank you so much, Ritika. Your speaking is over.
Most welcome.
Talking to you. Thank you.